Today we are continuing to explore recipes that I use to get the nutrients that I need by using real food. Mexican beef is tonight's dinner, so stay tuned and make it with me. Hey there, Wrinkled Runner here. Zinc is something that we don't always think about. We hone in on protein, carbs, and magnesium seems to be the mineral of the day lately, but zinc is not something that I was actively trying to include in my diet until researching what an older runner needs nutrition-wise. Zinc is needed for muscle repair, which bodybuilders have known for years that working out damages our muscles, only for them to build back stronger. I'm not sure that those of us who run think about the fact that we are doing the same thing with our running muscles. It's why we need rest and recovery, and also why we need zinc. This is also a good way to give your immune system a boost, and who doesn't want that nowadays? Since this morning it was raining in Buffalo, Dave and I couldn't go for our usual morning run. And we don't like to eat a full meal before training, especially a dinner. So this recipe is perfect for tonight when we're gonna run after Dave gets home from work. Using a pressure cooker with a warm function allows you to have dinner ready for after working out and showering. This Mexican beef is from the Eat This Much website and contributed by Zeno Girl. For this recipe, you're going to need 28 ounces of beef chuck, 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 1/3 cup of chopped onion, 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, 6 cloves of garlic, and yes, I'm using jarred garlic. I know that for some of you that is quite a sin, but I have to make dinner quick and I'm using the jarred kind. A lot of times I do cut up my own cloves, but when there's 6 of them, jarred garlic is just fine for me. 1/2 cup of salsa, 1/2 cup of chicken stock. Now the recipe does call for chicken stock. I had some in the refrigerator for something I made earlier in the week, but I think for this recipe I would actually normally use beef stock. And lastly, a 1/2 teaspoon of fish sauce. If you've never worked with fish sauce before, I use this brand. So it's something I picked up at the grocery store. Little goes a long way. So when they say 1/2 teaspoon, only use the 1/2 teaspoon. It's very pungent and it adds some great flavor to dishes, but if you overdo it, it's kind of like liquid smoke. If you overdo that, it's just not gonna taste good. So when they say 1/2 teaspoon of fish sauce, use 1/2 teaspoon. I bought a chuck roast for this recipe and cut it up myself into cubes. Now you could also use stew meat if you wanted to, because usually that's chuck, but I was able to get a big chuck steak or chuck roast and I cut that up. Now, I also cut off the huge pieces of fat. There were some big pieces of fat that were on the meat. I don't particularly care for eating fat, but fat is not something to be afraid of. We need fat in our bodies. So what I did is I chopped off the big fat and I put it in my pressure cooker to add some really nice flavor to this dish. The chunks are big enough, you can see the chunks are big enough, you're gonna be able to fish them out when the meal is ready, but don't just throw them out if you cut off some of the fat. Add them to your stews and other things to add the flavor if you don't necessarily like the chew of having it still on your meat that you're gonna actually eat. Okay, after you've trimmed then cubed the beef, you're going to add your chili powder and your salt and just mix it around. Get it all nice and get each piece covered. So I'm putting the fat in the bottom of this along with the tablespoon of butter. And when that melts, we will then add our onion and cook that until it is soft. Okay, you'll notice I put in the garlic and the tomato paste already and did that for 30 seconds. Next, you're gonna add all the beef, all your salsa, your stock, and your fish sauce. You're gonna give that a really nice stir, get everything all mixed up in there. And then you're gonna pressure cook on whatever your meat selection is for 35 minutes. I'm going to use this beef over rice tonight. I have a very simple rice cooker, and that also has a keep warm function. So I'll throw that in before heading out. The Mexican beef over rice plus a salad and green beans are going to round out the dinner. Next week is a bonus recipe from the book Know Me Athlete by Matt Frazier and Stephanie Romine. The French onion stew I'll be making is a favorite of ours, so subscribe now so you don't miss this recipe. I'm a running coach from Buffalo, New York, and also the host of the Wrinkled Runner podcast and website. I'll link up to both down below, as well as links to any resources I use to put together this video. You can also link up to subscribe to my once a month newsletter, where I share all sorts of running related content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the run.